Saturday afternoon, Sunday afternoon to get it going. And they are off. Here we go. I'm going to just refresh Demon Hunter. I've had issues with buffering in the past on his, so his might slow down a bit. But yeah, we've got all 3 of our racers off and running. Looks like Problems is running with the healths above. I think we put in the rules that's not supposed to happen. But okay, whatever. Just because it's kind of it sort of messes with the UI. Now you put that in. You put that in just for like people starting out to learn the game a little easier.
Actually, well, yeah, it's good for people starting out, but the main reason we put it in was for people who are colorblind.
Oh.
Because, you know, they might not be able to tell the difference between a red
Yellow
dragon and a green dragon.
Of course.
But if they can see the number of hearts, then you can tell.
Right. Yeah, these are the kinds of things that it's not easy for us to think about. But when you're a game dev, you have to like consider all of these different sort of scenarios that could play out. I'm sure that happened a lot. Yeah. I know that you added that seizure warning as well into the game, and I guess that's just for the fact of, yeah, there's the edge case where that could be an issue, and so you needed to cover all your bases, I suppose.
Well, there was a couple people who reported feeling weird or weird things happening, and so yeah, we figured we should warn them, and it seemed to come from people who had no history with, you know, any kind of problems either. So it's a bit strange, but we figured, you know, we better be safe than sorry. And I also have a family member who has epilepsy, which is why we immediately put in the option to turn off the disco floors. Like that's been in there for ages. Because we knew that, you know, if people thought they had photosensitive epilepsy, that they would turn it off. But it seems like it's with people who don't even know that they have an issue. So
interesting. I had a personal sort of feeling with the I kind of had a bit of a headache to begin with, but of course that's not going to stop me from playing Necrodancer. And then I found that the shake was really bugging me, and I'm seeing all of these racers are playing with the shake on. I have to turn it off. I find that it just kind of once I notice it, I feel like it's always, and then it messes with my head or something. I don't know.
Right.
But yeah, so I end up turning the shake off. I like it. It makes you feel like, you know, there's more gravitas with your attacks, but I still think that it just was too distracting for me, so I had to turn it off. So it's nice that all these personal preferences can be sort of handled, which is good.
Yeah, we're probably soon going to actually add an option to turn off the particle effects and stuff too. Some people don't like those, and some people think that it slows down their machines and stuff, so more options coming. Our options menus are already like super,
it's massive.
Super fat, and it's going to get even fatter.
Yeah, I guess that's okay though. It's rare that people will complain that an option menu is too big. Although I guess you probably get complaints about pretty much everything. So
we haven't had one about that, but things like our gameplay menu, it's full, so we'd have to have like gameplay options 1, gameplay options 2.
Oh my goodness,
like
yeah.
That, which is kind of,
you can't shrink
weird.
the font or anything, because then that would look really inconsistent. Oh my goodness, did you just see that on Demon Hunter? So Demon was running the fastest run there, had a I think it was a spear with a Ring of Courage, which of course is so much better now. I know that change was not recent, but I love the Ring of Courage now. It's so good.
Broadsword Ring of Courage. Yeah.
Oh, was it broadsword? Oh, it started. Yeah, you're right. It started spear and then went broadsword, and then actually died to the shopkeeper ghost, which is the worst feeling. I hate dying to that guy. Like, it brings up. I died to him during the dance pad CoNDOR we did, and I just felt so stupid. It's like, why?
Oh, dance
pad
is even harder to react.
And it was that classic like attack. Oh, we got a runner. TicTacFoe with a crazy build. Look at that, and now has no weapon. This is problem. And can't use the bounce trap to make space because of the heavy plate. Oh my god. That's pretty hilarious. Oh, that sucks. And the snicker from Ryan.
Well, maybe these first races are going to go on for a while, so Rat will have a chance here.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I think we've set it at a 20-minute time limit, but I know if Rat is just running late or something, he's definitely going to want the 20-minute limit to be hit. But my goodness, that was crazy. And a switch for problems, so he's not running glass anymore, which I know he's happy about. I've said this. I don't know if you've you realize this, but I think Zone 4 is pretty much the glass killer. Like, it's just so hard to get through that zone without getting hit. And I don't know if that's just lack of practice compared to the other zones, or if it's just the way the zone works, but it is so hard. It's just something is going to hit you.
I think it's lack of practice. I can usually do it without getting hit.
Yeah? Okay.
Like,
all right.
If you play IRL a lot, then you have to, right? Like.
Actually, yeah, that's a really good point. I think it might be just that, oh, what? TicTacFoe just threw his spear into the shopkeep and got attacked by him. I really don't know what that was. I don't know if you saw that. He just was standing above the shopkeeper and threw the spear down into him. And then
it was his shard, yeah, his glass shard that he had picked up. He threw it, and then he planted a bomb, and yeah, it died. I'm not sure what technique he was trying to use there.
I don't know what the game plan was there. That was an interesting move. Interesting plan, and it didn't really pan out, but all right. Yeah, so I don't know how much these racers are watching each other. That's another thing that we had to consider when it came down to four-way, is it can often be hard to watch the other racers and know what's really happening when you have four-way, because there's just so many other racers to watch, and sometimes people's computers can't even handle it. So do you watch any of the racers at all? Do you just run your own race? Do you watch one of the racers? It's hard to say.
Yeah, I think it seems like they're not, or at least TTF was not, because he only needs to be top two, right? And he was second there, so I'm not sure why he would try and pull some risky strat like that when he was in second fairly comfortably.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and Problems was saved by the crown there. He got teleported into the shop. Almost accidentally bought a Ring of Becoming as well.
He accidentally bought a blood.
He bought a blood flail instead, yeah. Which I don't think is the worst thing to run, honestly, with the courage. I mean, a 2-damage flail is super strong because you can get behind the shields, and
he traded Ring of Might for Ring of Courage, which I think is cool. But in Zone 3, it's a little bit risky with the ice tiles.
Yeah, that's true.
I guess he's got a spear, so I guess if you do it from range, you're not necessarily going to slip. But
yeah, if you had something one range, then yeah, you'll be slipping all over the place. That's true. But I think he just likes the Ring of Courage. I mean, it's fun, it's safe. There's some good boss strats with it, so I think that's good. That might be why. True. Although it's not always safe, especially in Zone 4, you can get yourself stuck, and some of the enemies do things that isn't just damage to you, like you can get caught by a purple monkey or a confused monkey, or you can get hit by the confused spell while courage, right? So then, Problems. Oh, this is really bad for Problems right now. He's gonna need. Oh no, so he still has his weapon. For some reason, I thought his weapon broke, but it was his glass shovel. So never mind, not so bad. He's okay.
I think monkeys can't grab you
when you're couraged.
When you're couraged, or at least I thought we made it like that. But
oh, okay. Oh my goodness.
Because otherwise,
ham there. That ham pickup. Sorry.
Yeah. Because otherwise, courage is a bit weaker.
Sorry to cut you off there, but yeah, courage is weaker in Zone 4 if that is the case. I thought it was, but I haven't actually tested it, and I don't honestly pick up courage that much. But we've seen a bunch of deaths already, and that's actually surprising. I mean, it is the first run of the day, and I know I saw Problems was streaming earlier, and he was streaming Isaac, so maybe he's not super ready. But yeah, that was quite the death there, as he got totally clubbed to death by like Rob D. Remember that song, Rob D, Clubbed to Death? It was in the Matrix soundtrack. It was a classic.
See, a lot of people have said to me, "Oh, Ogre is kind of weak. He's like a weak red dragon or something, except he can kind of shoot vertically sometimes."
Yeah,
but
yeah.
He kills a lot of people, man.
He gets me a lot. It's true. I totally disagree with whoever's saying that. I get killed by Ogre a lot, and that's also probably a lack of practice. I'm used to dodging up sometimes. I'm just not used to the 3 range, because it's rare that something will have 3 range, right? So.
Yep.
Especially, yeah, vertical or horizontal 3 range, because the dragons have the more than 3 range or more. But yeah.
Yep.
Or the ice is 3 or 4. I can't picture it in my head. I usually just try and avoid it.
It's 3. It's like Blunderbuss.
Blunderbuss, yeah, 3. Okay, cool. Yeah, I actually what gets me a ton is the Ogre in the Dead Ringer or Necrodancer fights. Just because the Dead Ringer, I'll end up not seeing the Ogre, or like say I'm trying to dodge up, and then there's an ogre about to attack me up, and I have to not dodge up, but then I dodge into Deadringer or something like that. That happens a lot. And then with Necrodancer, like one of the guys will trigger the ogre, and then the other one will get smacked by him. That happens to me a lot too.
Yeah, I think Ogre's a lot worse than people give him credit for, because he makes it so that more of the level is unsafe than a Red Dragon does. Because, you know, Red Dragon will shoot at you faster and longer range and whatnot, but if you're above him or below him, he's not really that bad. If you're above him or below him, he's a skeleton. Which, you know, that's not that scary. He moves every second beat, but if you're above or below an Ogre, he can frickin' smoke you, so...
Yeah, you have to start thinking less just up and down and more kind of move it all around, I guess.
Yeah, you want to kind of stand diagonal from him to be safe, which is weird. Like,
oh my goodness, yeah. TicTacFoe gets down by a Hellhound, and we have seen a ton of deaths. We've got a actually fairly quick run going here from Deamonhunter. And mapping for problems, which mapping is an interesting thing now, because mapping was the be-all, end-all for speedruns prior to release, because it was so important for Zone 3. Because it was the easiest to get map trolled in Zone 3. And it doesn't seem to be the case anymore, and I think that might be a reduction of swarming. It's a little easier to scout things. But also, it still happens, of course. It happened to me in the pre-run there. But Zone 4, there's no mapping required. And so it's interesting that the big shift that kind of happened in the priority of items. And now bombs are so important for the quick kills on those last bosses.
Yeah, I think it still helps. If you have a map, it'll probably save you like at least 30 seconds over not having it at all.
In Zone 4, you mean?
No, I mean just if you get a map in like Zone 1.
Oh, yeah, no, certainly. Yeah, because you're also preventing yourself from getting map trolled. Of course.
Yeah, exactly.
Which can happen.
Yeah,
it can still, when it happens in like Zone 2, it's the worst. It takes forever to get back on track.
Yeah.
And then
but,
there's... Sorry, go ahead.
Even in Zone 4, I do think that it helps, because there are times where you can see, oh, that's a secret room that's empty, or that's a secret room full of bats or something like that, and you can avoid that. You can kind of like find paths that make it so you don't have to open as many rooms.
Yes, absolutely.
If you have a map.
Yeah, I do like that aspect of it. I don't know if you can necessarily see whether there's bats or not unless you're unless you have a torch or something and you're walking next to it, right? Like, because you just see the layout of it. You can see if it's a trap room, which oftentimes I go for. At least when I'm trying to scout through Zone 4, I usually kind of try and traverse towards the trap rooms and scoot along the sides, because you're just going to wind up aggroing less enemies. At least that's what I tried, but I don't know if that's optimal. At this point, I feel like I don't have a total handle on what are the optimal strats for Zone 4 yet. I regrettably haven't been able to play as much as I wish I had, but still getting there.
Yeah, well, it's only been out for a couple weeks. I don't think anybody knows what is optimal yet.
Yeah.
But yeah, I agree that I go along the edges, and I kind of try and go for the secret rooms as well. Even if they do have bats in them, you can probably handle them faster than a room full of freaking tricky stuff. So
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and actually another thing that's interesting about Zone 4 in these races is, as you can see, Problems has caught right up. He's about to drop into Zone 4, and that Zone 4 for Demon was really slow. So he's looking at maybe a sub 10 if he can get a quick kill here. I mean, he has 13 bombs, so he should be able to get a pretty quick kill on the Necrodancer once he gets there. But yeah, this is actually not a quick kill. There's actually, I screwed up the strat, but there's some pretty quick strats you can do with Deadringer. Oh my god. And this is it. Deadringer in the tryouts dunked so many of our players. So many. And we're seeing it again here, where it just gets so trolly with the spawners. And I know, like, you can get rid of that, but now look, what's Demon gonna do here? You have to react so fast. Oh, it's crazy. I do like it a lot, because I think it really just, it's so nail-bitey at the end of the round, but oh, and he handles it nicely there. Sketchy though, only one heart going into the Necrodancer fight. Easy to take damage, especially if you do get that tag team hit, like with the Red Dragon or the Ogre, where one sort of starts the attack and then the other one gets tanked by it. So
yeah, that was well played by Demon. Yeah, Jack was talking about this with me just before the tournament started here saying that so many people were dying in the prelims with it, but I think you can deal with it safely if you want. It's just slow. Like if you go and kill the sarcophaguses,
yeah,
then that final phase is not nearly as hard. Like if you just kill everything, just be safe, kill everything slowly, take your time, then I don't think it's that hard actually. But people want to do the fast stuff, and if you do that, you could get caught. If you get a couple skeleton rider spawns, it can cause you some trouble for sure.
Absolutely. And I think it's just not part of the metagame to kill the sarcophagi. Okay, and Demon finishes. Nicely done. 11-22. So Demon takes first place. 3 points for Demon.
Yeah, well played. He didn't panic in that dead ringer fight. He could easily have got
yeah,
killed.
he could have been done. He could be back on zone 1 right now. And actually, there was one spot where I think he could have gotten to the Necrodancer before he exploded, but he backed off. And I think that was wise. If you're at all not sure and you only have 1 heart, you're better off just playing it safe. And I think, yeah, what I was going to say is the metagame I don't think has much safety strats in it. I think a lot of people are watching people speedrun this game. And so everything they're seeing is people not killing the sarcophagi, like you said, or any of those sorts of things. And what we wind up with is people doing more dangerous strats when in races you don't necessarily want to do that. You want to sometimes play it safe, especially if you're way ahead like Demon was there. Could have killed the sarcophagi and not been in really any danger at all during that fight. So yeah, that's totally true. It is the spawns that definitely makes that fight tricky.
Yeah, I think now that people have seen the prelims and they saw the trouble people were having, maybe they will take their time a bit more on that fight, or maybe they won't. Maybe it'll take a few CoNDORs with Zone 4 in before they're going to decide to be a little more cautious. But
yeah, my feeling is that no one's going to start to be cautious. I think everyone's just going to push it. I really do think that, because I think some people are going to get really good at pushing it, and then everyone else is going to feel like that's the way it needs to go. I honestly think that's what's going to happen. And what happened with CoNDOR before the release was it got to just like, this is full speedrun level. Like the race times were like 4 minutes, 3 minutes. It was absurd. Yeah. And I don't even know how that just happened, but everybody got so good. And so I think that might just be the way it kind of goes, is that people are just going to push really hard and eventually get good enough that they're going to be able to handle it. I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, I think it's probably possible, because the fact that guys like DJ can actually do Coda at all shows, I think, that you do have enough time to think, and that you can do all of the risky fast strats and stuff, because if he can survive Coda at all for a few levels, which he can, it means there's plenty of time for you to think. It just takes a lot of practice to get all the strats down so that they're kind of memorized and built in. But yeah, I think it'll take a few hundred hours of people practicing with Zone 4, but and the final bosses, but they'll get there.
Yeah, that's funny what Canadian Bacons was saying in the chat there. Guys like DJ, you mean only DJ? Yes, just DJ. He is superhuman. Okay, so just to go over very quickly, since we had to swap things out because of Rat not being here, is that we are giving TicTacFoe an opportunity to finish, because of course there's still a point for him to get if he can, so we'll let him have a chance. But of course we are very quickly running out of time. It's a 20-minute time limit for each race. So, and Problems has one heck of a Necrodancer fight going on here. All the nightmares. So is there any sort of capping on like enemy spawns or types of enemy spawns and things like that in the Necrodancer?
There is. Yeah, it depends on like how damaged he is, what he's gonna summon.
Oh, Dorian's gonna die.
What the cap is.
Oh my god. Does it change based on how many hits he's taken?
Yeah.
Right. Because he spawns only mini bosses at the end, right?
No, he can spawn. I think he can spawn other stuff.
Yeah.
Pretty sure he can. I think it's just that's like the time when he can do it, but I could be wrong. We programmed it a while ago, but
fair enough. And he just finished 1930. So Problem sneaks in and grabs his 2 points, and that was a really dicey fight there. But yeah, it's definitely possible to get like 2 red dragons and stuff, which is quite the interesting, when the way they can work together sometimes. It's pretty amazing.
Yeah, it's pretty scary. Yeah, having a Ring of Peace sure helps, and a Ring of War is scary as heck in that fight.
Yeah, for sure. And it looks like TicTacFoe does not have enough time to finish this run, so he's going to wind up getting 0 points there, unfortunately. But we'll let these racers get started and try and get some more points. Yeah, this is interesting. It'll be interesting to see who ends up making it through. I mean, that was a huge win for Deamonhunter. Obviously, I mean, each of these racers are sort of seeded based on our understanding of their skill levels, based on their tryouts and previous CoNDOR appearances. So we do have, which is, I think, one of the greatest things about how we've been able to run the CoNDOR like every week since, I don't know, whenever we started. We've run something crazy like 30 weeks of this. So we have a very good idea on how people fare and how people have improved and those sorts of things. People like Steak, of course, went from I beat them to being top tier. So yeah, we're seeing certainly some of that with and we have some idea on how everybody should fare here. And I think Problems might be the most celebrated of the racers currently in this right now. Like he's got probably the highest seed, so to speak. So that win by Demon was really huge, because that, of course, gives him the point advantage to make sure he gets through right now. And it'll be up to TicTacFoe to see if he can come back and put down a good time here and try and maybe get 3 points for himself.
Yeah, for sure. I think Problems had it, and then he got clubbed by that ogre. Like he had number 1 if he just could have played a little safer, but yeah, I'm not sure what happened around that ogre. It was a bit weird.
Yeah, definitely weird.
So is it just 2 races? Is that how it works?
It's 3 actually. Yeah, we went with
Okay,
3.
3.
So we wanted each round to be about an hour. We backwards engineered it. So we wanted to know how many racers did we need to get rid of this round, and then how much time do we have? Okay, so then how are we going to set up the tournament and that sort of thing? And so, yeah, we wanted it to be roughly about an hour. We also heavily considered the Balls of Steel tryouts, because we have a lot of shared audience. The Necrodancer community and the Isaac community are very close. So we wanted to make sure that frankly, we wanted to overlap a little bit so we could raid them. So, yeah, we kind of wanted to just take all of these factors into account. So we wanted to know basically when we wanted to finish. And so we decided, yeah, we'll have 6 hours to work to do this today. And so we'll make each set an hour. And then we can run 6 today, 2 tomorrow from the first round, and then 4 for the second round. And then we're done our first 2 rounds. And then we're on to the top 8 for next week. So it all kind of worked out once we sort of, I guess, took everything into account.
Yeah, it makes sense. So there's 1 more race after this one, and it's the people who advance is based on the number of points they get for their position. So if Rat comes in for the 3rd race and wins, that he could maybe. He
could, yeah. I guess he's not. Yeah, I guess his chances are diminishing very quickly here, considering he, yeah, he's getting 0 points for this run as well. So I guess what would need to happen, let me think. Yeah, he'd basically need Problems to not finish and TicTacFoe to not finish first, and he would need to finish first next run.
Right.
I think. Sometimes it's hard to do mental math.
or win some kind of tiebreaker if there's tiebreakers, like the fastest run or something like that.
We do have tiebreakers. Actually, I kind of want them to happen because we've got our 2-man or 2-person layout set up, and it's gorgeous. And I haven't really been able to show it off yet because we've been running 4-man. Grom did an amazing job on all of our layouts. And so, yeah, that's going to happen if there's a tie between 2nd and 3rd only.
There's a playoff?
Yeah, there's... Oh, sorry. Sorry, I have like 5 things going on. Yeah, so we have a sudden death that's literally sudden death. If you die, you lose. Or if you win the run, then you win. And that's it. You have 1 life, go, and sudden death.
Yeah, that's exciting.
yeah, I think that's just sort of fun. We do try to build, as much as we try to make like setup or formats that are, you know, considering the racers and trying to be nice and fair and all that sort of stuff. It's also, we want to put some fun into it as well. We want things to be kind of, you know, exciting and see how we can build that in as well. And I think that certainly would be very exciting if we could get there. So we'll see what happens but that really only happens if second and third winds up getting tied. It's really the only time when that would happen. Problems trying to
fair. We want exciting.
Yeah, I know. There was a big debate we had the other night about how much do we take the viewers into account versus the racers. And that sort of thing as well, because we have to kind of take everything into account when we're putting together the formats, and so it just kind of, we're trying to find the best balance we can for everybody to make it still entertaining. So yeah, it's good times. So Problems was in the Conjure shop trying to he's actually behind the other two racers right now. He was in the Conjure shop trying to get a new weapon, and he just got Squagga suited. So picking up a plate mail there, which I know he's not happy about, because he has been trying to ditch that that glass forever, and he still can't find a decent, not even a good, just a decent non-glass weapon. There's a base rapier. Let's see if he picks that up. Nope.
Glass broadsword is awesome. You should keep it. He's got a frost charm. He's fine.
Okay. Yeah, I totally agree. Well, there goes his frost charm. Yeah, I'll run glass sometimes, but when it comes to, we were talking earlier about, you know, the difference between race strats and speedrun strats, and glass is not good race strats in my opinion, at least right now. Once the metagame changes, there's an opportunity for him to get a glass rapier, I guess, if he wants, with that need spell. But yeah, I don't know if he's going to do that. And it looks like actually TicTacFoe is the first out of Zone 3, but barely. We've actually got quite the race going on between Demon and TicTac. TicTac having a bit more dangerous of a thing. He has a glass rapier with no defense on it going into Zone 4, so I'd be trying to change my weapon if I was him. Looks like he is maybe going for purple here. Yeah, and he got an orange. I would so use that. I would so use that. Enchant Scroll. I love the orange Enchant Scroll. I feel like I don't see it enough. And there it goes. Just like that. That's why he should have used it. He would have had some other kind of rapier that wouldn't have broken. And now he has a steak knife. That
Problems
sucked.
lost his, do you see Problems lost his weapon? He got it back.
Oh, wow. Yeah, at this point, well, now he's lost his beat on this fight as well, so I don't know if he's, like, you could throw and get the glass rapier. Or no, if he uses it, he would get a better weapon, right?
Yeah,
because he has base dagger?
Just get a weapon, yep.
Yeah, he should so use the Scroll of Need right now. I don't know if he knows that. I assume he does, but...
Maybe saving it for a potion?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, he's going to have to do some farming. And nice pickup from TicTac there, finding the Conjure shop, getting floaty boots and an Obsidian Rapier. So these builds are really strong right now, which is more, I think, people just kind of slowing down a little bit, because people were going so crazy fast in the first one and dying a lot. Now we're seeing them slow down a little bit, get some better builds. It's very wise. Demon Hunter actually has the Ring of Mana, which is probably the best ring besides Ring of Wonder. It's so good.
Yeah,
it's so amazing. I love it.
He's making good use of it because he just shield spelled a couple times, saving himself from Ogre and from fire, from wall pigs and stuff.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
So yeah, making good use of it. You might as well just shoot it anytime you're in any kind of slightly sketchy situation. You might as well use it if you got the Ring of Mana.
Yeah, because it's what, 3-4 kills? Might be a couple more than that, but yeah, it's not a lot of kills before it's back again, so might as well use it. Yeah, that's one of the biggest problems with a lot of people I find when I watch, and I'm guilty of it as well. It's just not using spells as much as you should, because you can use them so much, even when you don't have a Ring of Mana. Like, you might as well use them. Just use them, because I find people just save them until like the final bosses, and that's it. And you can use them so much more. And this is crazy. Everybody's on Zone 4. Actually, a really fast Zone 4 from Demon Hunter, and I think that was because TicTac ended up getting his glass broken. So he's slowed down quite a bit, and now him and Problems are neck and neck. This is close. This is exciting. I love when races get so close like this. It's amazing. And a bit of a bad Dead Ringer fight here as well. And I think it's becoming clear that Demon Hunter doesn't quite know all the Dead Ringer strats. There are some pretty fast Dead Ringer strats that Jack has shown me, and I mean shown people on his stream.
Yeah, he's not doing that Jack opening where you try and get Dead Ringer to come down first.
Yeah, but he's first through Dead Ringer, and the others are on 4-3 right now, so it's going to be a really tight run for second place there. which is going to matter a lot, especially if Demon is the first to finish this run. That actually would leave Rat a chance still if he shows up. So we'll see. But we'll see if he can handle this fight. He does have the Scroll of Need, but I have a feeling, one thing I've sort of noticed, and I know there's no real good way around this, but because the UI is so small in the Necrodancer fight, it's very easy to forget what, like, extra food and weapons you have. It's just because it's small. It's not as obvious. So, like, things like using holy water or something like that, it's just a lot harder to do sometimes.
Yeah, I think it's probably wise to do what Bananasaurus Rex used to do, where he, before every level, he would like take stock of what stuff he had in his inventory just to make sure that he was, you know, playing intelligently. So especially before the Necrodancer fight, you should take a look, and Deadbringer too.
Absolutely.
Take a look and say, all right, I got this, I got that, you know.
Yeah, and that was a sub 10 run there for Demon Hunter. So nicely done, Demon Hunter. And actually, TicTac's first on his Necrodancer fight between Problems and TicTac. This is super close. I love this. When you don't have deaths, everybody seems to run consistently around that 10-minute mark. And so we're going to see a lot of close races, which is awesome. So excited for that. Nicely done, Demon Hunter. Showing everybody how it's done there. Really good.
Yeah, that
and he's
Necrodancer
definitely
fight,
moving on with that win, which congrats to him.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, he pulled off that Necrodancer fight super quick.
Yeah, it was a really nice fight. Absolutely.
Pretty safely as well.
Yeah, and now Problems is into the Necrodancer fight, and at this point it looks like TicTac has got a pretty good build. I don't want to jinx him, but he's got a nice setup here. And it looks like Problems is trying to... Oh, he's got to do the slow strat, so yeah, that's going to be too bad for Problems there. And actually, it's going to be really close to see who winds up getting that second spot into the next round. Ooh, and this is a little scary for TicTac, getting a little bit of a surround there, but he ended up being okay, and he's getting a little bit of luck with Necrodancer here, not doing the bomb on him. And 11:09 run for TicTac, taking second place, but will still allow Problems to finish this run. I mean, he's got 8.5 minutes to finish to get that last point. So he should definitely play really safe right now and just make sure he finishes the run.
Yeah, I like the fact that this run had a couple glass weapons that broke and people recovered from them.
Absolutely, yeah, because it used to be a death sentence
Yeah, I think
when you just wouldn't be prepared for it, but yeah.
Yeah, I think the extra heart containers that Cadence has, plus, you know, people can kind of tank up even harder now than they used to be able to do. So it definitely helps.
Absolutely. Totally agree. And I think Problem should just use his bomb here. But this might be another case where you don't know... Oh, no, he's using it. Never mind. Yeah, I was just going to say where you might not necessarily be aware of what you have, and so you might have forgotten whether he has a bomb or not. But no, he used his bomb. All right, so that's 2 points over to TicTac. Let me hand those over.
Yeah, I think it looks like Problems tried to play a bit safer this time because of the deaths in the previous round, and it actually cost him. Like he spent a lot of time trying to get rid of that
the glass
broadsword,
and he ended up getting rid of it during Deep Blue.
Yeah.
Oh man. All right. Well, I mean, all of our racers finished sub 13. It's pretty good. Nicely done, Problems, finishing up, getting his point there. That point might matter. If nobody finishes the next round, he's through. So let me add that point there to Problems. And I told Will we're just gonna keep things running unless anything we have to pause for any reason. So I don't have to like give him the okay. We're just gonna keep things moving, and I think that'll be a nice way to keep the day going quick. It is gonna be a lot of racing today, but we have a lot of high quality racers, so I think that's gonna be fun. It looks like Demon Hunter might be AFK right now, as his screen isn't in the lobby.
he's got it in the bag. He's just not gonna race.
Yeah, I mean he could, but I mean might as well keep going. Might as well keep,
yeah.
And I mean, I don't know actually if there is any sort of metagame for him if he keeps going, like trying to get the points away from anybody else. I mean, the points won't matter once anyone gets to the next round. But he can certainly, well, at this point, I think that means that, Rat is out, officially, which is a big hit for Rat. I know he was very excited to run in the tournament, so I'm not exactly sure what happened there, but of course, You got to make sure you show up at at your race time.
Yeah, well, I guess he would need problems to like not finish and then win a tiebreaker or something, right?
Yeah, but I mean, the third race has started, so I mean, I guess if he shows up and starts and manages to finish first, okay. But I mean, we'll let it go. But it doesn't look like that's about to happen.
No, that is unfortunate. Hope he's okay. Like, I don't think he would be missing this just by accident. Hope he's all right.
Yeah, definitely not. No, he is definitely very into competition and trying to. I know he's in it to win it. So, oh well. Not much we can do about that. We got to keep pressing on. So we will do that, and we'll see how this race goes. I mean, that last race was excellent, and I really hope that a lot more of the races are going to maintain that, because we saw some leader changes quite a bit as TicTac. Oh, speaking of TicTac, going for that glass shopkeep kill, which there's a bit of RNG involved in that. If you're trying the dagger throw strat, which is what I'm assuming he did there. So.
Yeah, he did, and yeah, he got the spawn too close to him. He couldn't survive it. Yeah, I think there's like a 1 in 5 chance or something like that of that happening.
Yeah. Have you seen DJ do that strat with Coda? It's absurd.
No, I don't think.
It's so absurd. He does it. He just like, no problem, just like all of a sudden throw and then reacts to all the, because there's times where you have to move left or right depending on where he spawns, and he totally reacts within the beat. It's ridiculous.
It's almost like he's a robot or something.
Almost like he's a robot or something. It's so good. Actually, just a quick note about DJ. Oh, TicTac going down to a boss arena there. DJ was unable to join the tournament because of work conflicts, which is really sad because I know he was really excited. And of course, DJ is one of the best, and it was sad that he couldn't make it due to work conflicts. But we've opted to give him. We need to still talk to him a little bit about it, but we're hoping one of our next weekend during our sort of finals weekend, when we find a little extra time, along with hopefully the interview with you about some of the questions. I've got some from some viewers. That'll be pretty cool, just to get your input on the game and the story and that kind of stuff. But also, we're hoping to let DJ do a Coda demonstration. Because, I mean, he's been practicing and playing, and he's getting to Zone 3 somehow. Like, he made it, I don't know if you watched his run where he got to Zone 3-4, but it was absurd. Like,
I watched the VOD, yeah.
Like, the speed of decision-making, I can't even comprehend. Like, it really does seem robotic. Like, he's got some kind of processor in the back running faster than a human brain can. Because it's just crazy. Like... Yeah, I don't know. I've lifted a lot of my Coda salt because I don't know if you know, but from day one, I was just like, this is the worst idea. I hate it so much. I really did. I was just like, no, I can't deal with how bad this is. But I have to admit that DJ has changed my mind on it. He's making it possible. And so I'm like, okay, I can't stay salty then, because if it's possible, then all right. And then maybe I'll even give it a go, because it's just like, yeah, he's showing that it's possible. Unless he actually is a robot, and then it's not humanly possible. Because I think isn't that the achievement? Is this even humanly possible?
Yeah, I think
that's
said
what
in the
it's
achievement text that is it not possible, or is it possible?
I think it says human. I thought it said humanly possible though, which is like
maybe
DJ winning won't necessarily prove that.
Yeah. No, I think it's ridiculous, obviously, but I knew that it was possible. I thought maybe somebody would beat it in a year or two or something, but it looks like it might be faster if it keeps going. But also, I think it's just fun just to try it and get brutalized and just see how far you can go. Just like I got to 1-2, you know, I've got to 1-3.
Oh yeah.
I was super excited to get to 1-3, right? Like it's neat just to see how far you can go.
Yeah, it's true. It's just so incredibly stressful. But yeah, I do agree with that. It's nice for a sort of challenge that way. Yeah, it's nice that like winning isn't the only way to feel good about playing that character. Like you can just get far and feel pretty good about it. So
yeah, you could go for score. Like it's plenty hard just to get.
Yeah, I think score is just find bombs and bomb the shopkeeper in 1-1. That's what I did, or bomb the shop. I mean. That's where my score PB is that. Dying on 1-2 after bombing the shop walls. But anyway, so we've seen a lot of obsidian to get started here, and TicTacFoe's actually been running this obsidian cat for quite some time. And I think that might be due to lack of choice. I know that that's not everybody's favorite weapon. It can be super fast, but it can also be pretty dangerous. Unless you have tons of armor and health, and then you don't mind jumping into the way of things. So, but he seems to be running it pretty well, though he is a little slower than the others. Actually, a lot slower. I just realized both our other runners are almost done Zone 3.
Yeah, he's a bit behind for sure.
Yeah, and actually, Demon is looking...
He died once.
Oh, that's right, of course, yeah, he died. There was a death, he died in the boss arena, but there was the death to the... I think Demon had a death to the glass shop, is that right? I can't remember now. Maybe he had 2 deaths. There were 2 deaths this race. I can't recall who was who, though, unfortunately.
Yeah, I thought the glass shop was also TicTac.
Okay, so maybe that's why he's still behind here at this point. A little bit of a bad fight here for Demon. It's going to be a little slow as he's getting the spawns from Death Metal. Which is pretty uncharacteristic in Zone 3. Usually by the time you get to Zone 3, you've got enough of a build that you can handle it pretty good. According to Will, both deaths were from TicTacFoe. He, of course, is tracking all the stats. Will has been tracking all of the stats for all of our Condors since we started. So we have so much stats, which is great. That was actually almost part of the reason why we started the Condor in the first place, was to just have a lot of stats. So we got those.
Yeah,
Will likes stats. And, oh, that Ghost Shopkeeper, though. Are you seeing this? Over on Demon's side? There was a Ghost Shopkeeper just hanging out. Oh, this is scary. He's got that potion, which is good. But there's a Ghost Shopkeeper just hanging out. I think he's trapped by a mini-boss. And, oh, my God. Okay, he handled it.
He also had free spell and stuff. Like, he had a bunch of...
Oh, that's true. There he goes. Yeah, free spell. So good. Yeah, he wants that, Ring of Mana right now. It would be so good. So good.
Was it Demon who got killed by the shopkeeper ghost before?
I think it was. So there's his revenge there. But that's very uncharacteristic of the shopkeeper ghost to just hang out by the exit. Usually he comes straight for you. But it's just how I guess because it's... Is it the case that the boss rooms tend to be... The mini-boss rooms tend to be a little smaller in Zone 4? They always seem very crowded.
Yeah, they're crowded just because the exit rooms always have more enemies in them. But I think... They are a regular size room. It just seems more crowded because sometimes they can be small just randomly because some of the rooms can be small, but then it'll always have lots of enemies in it.
Right. And actually, look at this. TicTac's catching up. TicTac is now only a single floor behind the other racers, which is very impressive. And TicTac is fighting for his life in this tournament right now.
Yeah.
Only one of these guys are going to be eliminated. So, yeah, he needs to beat Problems at this point. It's very important. Problems is actually now on 4-3, as is Deamonhunter. So I don't know if he can get back at this point. He's just got a really motor. I mean, the cat's not bad for Zone 3 because you can kill those golems really easily.
Yeah, that's true. Well, I think he just needs to be close enough to Problems to make Problems have to go fast and possibly die. Just to put the pressure on him if Problems is watching.
Yeah, hard to know, though. And Problems, of course, is a seasoned veteran when it comes to racing, so he might not crack to the pressure as much as some other racers may. Also, Adriactic, yeah, this my stream. It's my personal stream, but at least lately, CoNDOR has been taking up most of it because we're doing a big tournament. But yeah, and that's not actually true to the boss. My schedule has changed slightly. You can see my schedule down below, though. But Fridays typically are CoNDOR days, but we're doing. There's a lot of changes in schedules lately because of this big tournament we're doing. So basically, the upcoming 2 weekends, I'm going to be doing a lot. There's going to be a lot of CoNDOR, and then usually Tuesdays is my normal stream. But I'll be generally streaming Necrodancer the whole time, unless I get in the balls of steel, which I don't think is likely. Anyway, let's talk about these races. So double Dead Ringer right now. It looks like Demon's going to be the first through it, and he's got 7 bombs and a Blast Helm, so it'll be a fast Necrodancer fight. 6 bombs for Problems, so it'll be a reasonably fast one as well. So now it's, I think, going to be a bit of an RNG situation, as Problems is trying to get first here.
Yeah, TicTac just needs Problems to die. Like, that's...
Yeah, I mean, they both only have the 3 heart containers, the base 3 heart containers, Demon and TicTac, but yeah, Demon's already in, so yeah, you're right. Problems needs to die for TicTac wants Problems to die for sure.
Yeah, but Problems has, he's got a chainmail, so he can take some beats, and Dorian doesn't usually die. We'll see.
Not usually. He certainly does sometimes, though. And that's GG for Demon with a sweep. That's impressive.
Yeah, impressive.
Uh-oh. Oh, okay. Sorry, I thought TicTac's stream went down, but it's just I looked at his stream right as he was going through the floor, so it was just a fade out. Never mind. Everything's okay. Yeah, but TicTac has got to really, really hustle here. He did just get a YOLO teleport into basically his potion room, which was pretty awesome. Oh, but this looks like Problems is taking it, and that's GG. Wow. All right, so let's so that'd be 3 points for Demon, putting him at 9, which is the most you can possibly get, and then of course 2 points for Problems, putting him at 5. So and I don't know if, I mean, we can let TicTacFoe finish, but it doesn't really matter at this point, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But we can let him finish.
Yeah.
Unless
yeah,
Will
well
calls
played.
it. We'll leave it to Will.
Well played, both of those guys. That first race was a bit sketchy with a bunch of deaths, but then after that...
yeah, everyone shake the sillies out, and it was going. So, yeah, that's true. It was, that was a really sketchy first race. So many deaths. So many more than I expected, especially with the tier. Oh, speaking of deaths. Deadringer, it's that ogre, I tell ya. That ogre gets him.
I like how the ogre can whack Deadringer too. He can like knock Deadringer around.
I know, I noticed that one time it happened to me, and I was just like, what? Oh my goodness. And he knocks him a different way, right?
Yeah, I can't remember. I think he knocks him the direction he's swinging the club, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, I think he does. All right, so I'm going to quickly change things over to the next racer, but thank you. Guys, let's get a round of applause for our racers, especially TicTacFoe, who unfortunately was not able to make it on